Good afternoon, Paula Shoemaker, Susquehanna County Workforce. Today we decided that we're going to do a quick tutorial on Excel, the basics of Excel. We do have these in our office on a weekly basis, a bunch of different workshops to try and help employees and employers out in the work field. And we are here to help you, so please feel free to comment any questions, anything that we might be able to help you with. Unfortunately, COVID-19, we have to change our ways of doing things, and looks like this is how we're going to try and reach out to help you guys. So please feel free to reach back to us. Let us know what you might be looking for, and we can see what we can do for you. Again, this is just going to be a basic Excel tutorial. So let's start with what's what. Let's open up your Excel on your laptop or your computer. We're just going to point out a few things when you first open it up. It's going to show you where your cells, your columns, your rows, your formula, your ribbon, your worksheets. This is basically your workbook. This is what you will be doing. And this goes through. And this is your ribbon. And we are going to go through this piece by piece, not in full detail. If you do want full detail, please reach out to us, let us know. We can meet with you one-on-one, do whatever we can do right now virtually, or when we get back in that office, sign up for the workshop and see what we can help you with. So you're going to find a clipboard. It's basically copying and pasting your items. The font allows you to adjust the size, the bold, the underlining, fill borders, all of that. Alignment allows you to enter your document if you want it horizontally, or if you want it to show vertically, if you want to wrap a text or merge cells together. This is where you're going to find all of that information. There's a number. The number allows you to set up your data if you want it in currency, if you want it in counting, anything that you might want a certain cell to look like. This is where you're going to find that. Styles is actually entering a table into your document. If you have a lot of information in there, sometimes just entering a table on the bottom of that will sort it so you can direct exactly what you're looking for on that form. The cells, if you're typing, you forgot to add a row or a column, or you don't need the data, you can insert or delete a cell easily from this tab. There are a lot of different ways to insert cells and delete cells, and currency, merging, centering. There are a lot of different ways to do this. Like I said, right now we're just going to go through the basic parts of it and where you would find the items. And then this is the ribbon, where you can auto sum, you could fill, you can sort your filters alphabetically. If you have your columns labeled on there, you can sort whether it be alphabetically, whether it be by an amount, whether it be by a day of the week. All of that could be done here, sort and filtered. This is your menu. If you go over to the file, this is where you're going to find everything that you've done on your document. If you want to save it, this is where you need to save it. If you want to use the document as something else, if it's already formatted, you just need to change a few things. Save as is a great feature, so you don't have to recreate the document. You save as and you change the name. You can open up recent documents that you've done through here. You can create a new document through here. This is where you would protect your workbook. If you plan on sharing your document with somebody, you can put a password on there, so not any of the information can be changed unless you give permission to have that changed. And that's a great feature for Excel. This is also where you would print. And we're going to go through and just show you some of the items on the ribbon bar and where you would find them. So if you look at the top of your page, you'll see an insert. Insert tab is where you're going to find your pivot tables, your clip arts. If you want to go out and add a picture, you can go online and do that. If you want to change your information into a chart, into a column, a pie chart, anything like that, this is where you're going to find it. If you want to add a header, a footer, this is where you'll find to do that. You'll find a page layout. This is where you're going to set your margins, your print area. If you want something on one page, this is where you would go to find all of that information. Formulas. Formulas are the best part of Excel. Like I said, entering the formula calculates it all for you and makes your job much easier. The data. The data tab is where you're going to find anything in your document. If you want to sort it by alphabetically or anything like that, everything is there for you in the data tab. Reviewing your data. Reviewing your workbook, I highly recommend before you save it to always review it. With everybody texting and all the new things going on, you a lot of times find yourself typing the way that you would text. You know, you hit a U instead of YOU or a Y instead of WHY. So definitely spell check your document before saving it and sharing it with anyone. This is a great tool. This is also where you would protect your workbook. And lastly is the View tab. And this is where you can view it. You can do your page, see your page breaks. You can view it normally. You can zoom in on an item. You can freeze a pane. So if you just want to see the first column and you need to see the last column, you could freeze that first column and everything throughout your workbook will scroll over so you can see who it lines up with or what it lines up with. And then we just put a couple shortcuts on the bottom here for you for your review. Okay, so let's get to it. So we're going to just start typing on the sheet. Keep it simple to start with. Just make some columns and rows and put in a few data points. Format. The use of color and borders can help set your data apart. As you can see here, we kind of just put in a title on the document, the header, then we titled it, then we have the months going down, and then we have across the sides. You can use fill to change the colors, bold, and italicize your headings. This is great to point out different items. You want all of your months to show. You want all of your employers to, your titles to show. So changing the colors and bolding it will make different things stand out so it just doesn't look like one big cluster. This is just some simple organization. If you right click over the sheet tabs to rename them. So on the bottom is all of your worksheets. If you have the same documents or different documents, you can have them all in one sheet right at your fingertips instead of opening book after book after book. It's all right here for you. And you can just go down to the bottom, right click it, click on rename, and it'll change it for you. If you insert on the ribbon, click header and footer. This is where you would edit any title, change it, and save it so it prints on all of your documents. This is just a little overview on your columns. If they're too narrow, there are, like I said, tons of different ways to change these items. These are just some of the easiest to look at the ribbon and figure out how to do this. So if you look between column A and column B, there's a little line in between there. If you were to run your mouse over there, you're going to see an arrow come up. You can click on that and drag it, and that's going to adjust your column width. Merge and center combines multiple cells into one cell. So if you're typing along and you want something to go across 4 or 5 cells and you want it centered, you can merge those cells together and it will center it into one. And wrapping text. If you have a lot of items into a row and you're like, oh, it's going over into the next row, click wrap text. It will fit the data into that line for you. And formulas. Entering formulas into cells allows you to auto-program your spreadsheet to do what you want it to do. I always use the saying, work smarter, not harder. And that's what Excel does for you. So here we have our employee names down to the left, and we have the days of the week to the right. We want to find out a bi-weekly pay schedule. So if you look down on the bottom, you'll see the date. They started on 8/22 of 16. We're going to equals that 8/22/16, and we're going to add 14 because that's what we're looking for. We want to find a bi-weekly. What is 14 days from the day of they started? Just make sure that on the date you have it formatted to the date, so that way it'll automatically calculate the 14 days. There's no more counting. There's no more looking at a calendar. Excel will do this for you. These are some common formulas that we use in Excel. The sum tab adds everything between that range. Equals average computes the average of everything between a range. You can do simple mathematical calculations by typing them in directly without the shortcut. And there's also an if condition, if positive, if negative, if yes, if no. It allows for the programming of a spreadsheet to give one answer if the condition is not met. And we're just going to give you a few examples of those. So here's the sum. So basically we have our employees and we have the days of the week and how many hours that they worked. If you look through, there's, again, multiple ways of doing this. But if you go up and you hit the sum tab, you can click on B7 through H7 and enter it, and it's going to give you that Wicket worked 47 hours. If you go down the corner of that little 47 cell right there, and you drag it down, it will carry that formula down through the whole document and calculate it as you type in each employee's hours for the week, and it will total it for you. Then we're going to go with average. Now we want to see, we have all these employees, this is the hours that they worked for the week. Now we want to average out how many hours a week average is everyone working. So definitely label average hours, because you're going to say, well, this doesn't equal 47, 32, 40, 25, 36. This doesn't equal 37. What's going on here? So definitely label your document with what you're looking for, so it helps decrease confusion on that document. You can always change the type of the data in your cell. In this case, we're looking for gross pay. We're going to use accounting. Type your formula for one cell. Want the same formula throughout? Use the fill command. Fill it all the way down through. Your accounting will show up all the way down through. The little line that you see going down through this document is the print. Obviously, if you go to print this, it's only going to show through Friday. This is where you're going to go through and you're going to want to change your margins if you want this all on one document. You can change it from a portrait to a landscape or change the page breaks. This is the if function that we were talking about earlier. So we want to know if an employee worked more than 40 hours, will they receive benefits? So it's easily done if you do if the total hours is more than 40, they will receive benefits. And it automatically will calculate that for you. That's finally. So let's protect your workbook. This is obviously a great tool if you plan on sharing your workbook. You can go through and you can set certain permissions. You do a password. Now you can protect a worksheet or you can protect a workbook. Always determine what one you want to do. A sheet is only going to protect one of the sheets that's in that document. So if you have several worksheets on there, you definitely want to do the workbook. But you can also lock and protect what can be saved, or excuse me, what can be changed and what cannot be changed by simply setting all of your protections right here in the Protect tab. So I want to thank you for letting me share some of the basics with you. We can do this again, maybe a part 2, pivot tables, some charts. Again, I just want to stress to you, we are here to help you. So if anything specific you want to know, another workshop, Word, if you want to get into more detail on one specific item, just say on the ribbon you want to go through all of the data features, we can go through and make something for you to show you all the different data and all the different changes. Like I said, we're here to help you. Let us know what we can do, what you're looking for. It's a crazy time right now for all of us, but we are here, so please give a shout out. Let us know what we can do to help you with. Thank you, and have a great day.